Hi, it's Joy, and today we're going to be watching Andor Season 1, Episode 4, Aldhani. I'm probably saying that wrong. I am so excited to start the next arc, or just the next section of Cassian's journey, and to see what happens next. A reminder that if you're watching this on YouTube, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go! Also, I meant to say I'm wearing my new... I got this top for Christmas. Look at it. Just look at it.
Start running, or you come with me and help with something important.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I don't need you to steal, seeing how well you're doing on your own. I'll take the drop.
It's interesting knowing where he ends up.
I'll use the same rope to hang you, whether it's all the same.
It is to me.
So we agree.
No. I think it's all useless.
Better to
Can I say he views it as hopeless?
I'm one of 50 that survived. And who did
He has had a rough life.
You lived because you ran. But you're right about one thing.
He's done his
Empire had you
research.
fighting each other. No matter what you tell me or tell yourself, you'll ultimately die fighting these bastards.
You will.
So when you survive and deliver, I'll give you 200,000.
What would we be stealing?
The quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial site.
Not bad. You can pull it off.
Unfinished memorandum of recommendations regarding the problem.
My staff is awaiting an assessment from Avala's.
It's a thankless task working for a
Because they've done
fascist,
such an excellent job
oppressive
so
government.
far, hmm?
What do you do apart from
What
complain
do
all
we do
day?
here?
Unknown, sir. I'm heading out immediately after this meeting.
We'll speak
Why are we focusing
before
on
we
her?
leave.
Is she going to be assigned to like stop them, or is she secretly a
Yeah.
rebellion member?
Elaborate.
I do, as much as I despise obviously the Empire and everything it stands for, it is fascinating to kind of get an insight into their everyday dealings.
I want it back when this is over. If I live, I want it back.
He believes in you, that's why he's gone out of his way to recruit you. Was he thinking he could steal the ship?
5 months in, just plug
I've been
in some
working
new
on this for
person. It'll tear the
months.
team apart.
Well, that's not much of a team, is it?
It is a
You're
disruption.
vulnerable and you know it.
We've been eating roots and sleeping on rocks for this rebellion, and now you've got a mercenary on board.
Oh, don't blame her for
Wasting
thinking
energy,
this.
you know I'm
But
right.
if it's going to save lives, take
You need
him.
this to work. You want it to lead. This is what he comes to.
Fuck.
You got 3 days. Some
Early
officers
rebellion
speak
days,
some
not
officers
easy.
phone. You step up, you lead.
You will immediately relinquish any and all comlinks, weapons, and scandocs.
Oof.
You will not return to your living quarters. The Imperial inspectors have had time to inventory.
The Empire's
You will
taking
certify
over.
receipts of said items.
Nothing to do with this.
Well, exactly.
Fuck. Francis Poldark, you fucked up. His name is Cyril, but
Combined ingredients.
You, Deputy Inspector Khan.
Proud, are we?
is his surname Khan? I just can't read this. So. I promise I'm not going to go on about Poldark every time, and I'm not going to have fun editing in a picture of Francis Poldark every single time it comes up. I just enjoyed myself last week. But Khan is the surname of somebody else in Poldark, and that amuses me.
So listen, you've rung the final bell on corporate independence. As of this morning,
Fuck.
the Milana system is under permanent Imperial authority.
Trying to do your best job, and look what it gets you.
Something I need to work.
See, the fact that I was wondering whether we would see any of them again, like if that was kind of just closing off that arc, but the fact that we saw that scene definitely makes me think they're going to stick around. Is he going to go on like a vendetta of like, I'm going to track down Cassian Andor and like make him pay and like prove I'm worthy? Or ideally he should be like, right, well yeah, the Empire actually, you know, we did our best and they're fucking us over. Maybe I should go against them.
We're going to tell them this was my idea, and we've been planning it all the while. We never mention him.
Ooh.
They've got nothing better to do than patrol, so this is the safe route.
He told me about the payroll, not the garrison.
What
I
did
don't
you
know who you're talking
think?
about. They are 7.
7 against
What did
the
you
garrison.
think? The payroll was just going to be out in the
This is a long
open?
walk.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, there's a noise.
Get down, Tuckins!
It's a good job they make as much noise as they
Won't be back
do.
today.
It might mean more if you went. I don't want to spark his interest.
Shenanigans within shenanigans. Fascinating. So he's on the inside. Or at least he lives a whole double life. I am loving this.
I'll take it to Major Party, Cass.
Don't look down.
Oof. He on guard duty, this bodes well.
Let's get Clem settled in.
Good to have you, Clem. We'll take all the help we can get.
I'm stressed about how many of these people are going to die. Like, at least we can kind of feel confident that Cassian's going to survive the show. Everyone else,
Morale down again.
you're a failure, Francis. Honestly concerned that we're still seeing him about what he's going to be getting up to going forwards. Like, I don't think it's going to be seeing the light and joining the rebellion.
Mother.
What a wonderful greeting. If you're really that happy to see him, why'd you hit him?
Tearing at?
Post to
You
when?
trust him with our lives?
That's my call to make.
He's committed.
They have to go along with
I'm
it.
feeling that. I want to.
Feel what?
His belief in the cause. When it comes down to it, that's all I need to know.
I'm not feeling optimistic about this.
Vel.
I trust him.
But I think Cassian will be a help for them.
Okay?
She trusts the person that recommended him. At the end of the day, they don't know that person exists.
It's no harm in looking. We just got in some terribly interesting coins.
Distracting him in case he's a spy on Mon Mothma.
I feel under siege.
Yep. How long is it till she breaks fully away?
For so long.
Don't lecture me on vulnerability. No one's more at risk than I am. You think I haven't thought this through? I'd be the first one to fall.
They are extremely brave.
But I trust you'll have the courage to turn back. It should be a bit much.
Yeah, they're good at this.
You'll be here?
They're a smooth operation, putting all their lives at risk. You have to admire the courage it takes to stand up to people and be part of a rebellion, especially when it does all seem hopeless. I am loving this show.
We need another hand, and you know it.
This is a mess.
On top of what?
On top of being someone I've never met who suddenly got my neck in their hands.
I know the feeling.
Are we done?
Who is he?
He's Clem. He's here, that's all.
He's Clem.
Wasting daylight.
Cassian is definitely thinking,
What's with all
is
those
the money
trolls on
worth
Stone
this?
Canyon?
Decent chance it's there.
Does he know about her rebellion thing?
Bars, dangers.
Taking care of that, you're at the boring end of the table. These people are fun.
Who are they? Are they fun?
The ones who
We
try and
should
ruin
find some calling
everything.
guests for tonight and see how amused they are. Do you know how many will starve? Perhaps we can laugh about it over the third course.
He does. I'm getting the sense
You
he
should have a
doesn't
rest.
know
If you
about the
give me attention,
rebellion.
I will, and you won't be happy.
Must everything be boring and sad?
Yes, because you're living a life of extreme privilege. The rest of the galaxy doesn't get to do that, and you don't get to just cover your eyes and pretend. But the rich always do.
They'll be on you in minutes.
9 minutes. We've timed it.
Okay.
What's the next stage of
You'll
the
be
plan?
lucky to make the horizon.
This happens in 3 days' time.
That's
It's a
your
crazy
car.
plan.
Yes. Gets us in, gets us out. Are you in all the way?
Yes.
Let's get to it.
Might expose activity in my sector.
People also take things for money, do they not? Is it worth creating this much intra-office friction?
And it was
in
just
pursuit
taken
of
for
what
money,
seems like a
so it
straight-up
is now
personal
tied into the
robbery gone
rebellion.
awry?
Sir,
Here, we act on vetted and verified information.
The worst thing is she's right. Not necessarily about how
This
Cassian's
materializes
theft
into something more definite.
is linked
Till
into
then,
it, but
confine
there is a
future
growing
activities
rebellion.
To your sectors. Thank you, Lieutenant. His quarterly reports, however, are in, and yours are not, and here we are spending your valuable time with this issue.
Maybe she does her job more thoroughly.
Lieutenant.
It's a clever plan, taking advantage of the Empire's arrogance and assumption that no one's going to do something like this, combined with a random natural phenomenon, but I'm still stressed. Okay, so Cassian has still not joined the rebellion, which makes sense. I mean, looking at his life, he's not currently in a place where he would be. The character we've been introduced to is not someone who is about to sign up to potentially die fighting for a cause he believes in. He just wants to survive and kick the Empire in the teeth if he gets the chance along the way. The idea of them kind of, the fact that, I don't remember his name, but the guy who's, you know, living the double life, etc. he really researched Cassian. He knew a lot about him, and yes, you don't know the measure of someone until you actually meet them face to face, but he was able to look into him, look up everything he could to find out whether or not this was someone that he thought had the drive. And I do feel like, yes, he's willing to pay him, and if Cassian at the end of this mission is like, great, I'd like my money, I think he would give it to him and that would be fine. But I also feel like there is a real chance that if this mission goes well, Cassian might get the bug or realize that we can actually make a difference, we can hit the Empire where it hurts, and he needs people. The rebellion needs people like Cassian. But as we saw in Rebels, when you're in the early days of a rebellion, it seems hopeless. It seems like it's just going to be a suicide. Like, it's not even just like this mission is going to be a suicide mission. Even if this mission goes well, the next one will be a suicide mission. The Empire has just got its grip everywhere. It seems impossible to comprehend that you could beat them. So of course people are going to be hesitant to signing up to throw their lives away. It's why I admire all the people that have signed up so much, because, you know, I get, you know, very mad at people who are willingly joining the Empire and turning a blind eye to atrocities being performed and everything like that. I think it makes you a despicable piece of human shit, especially if you're like contributing to it. But I do think that I don't greatly blame the everyday citizen or person who isn't directly involved in any of the bad stuff, who is just like, this is all a lot, I don't know what I'm doing, because I think most of us would be in that position. But the people that actually go out of their way to join the rebellion, people like Mon Mothma, who have a pretty good life, she could be making it rain in the Empire, but instead she's both fighting for what's right in the Senate and fighting for it in other ways, even though her husband doesn't seem that great. I love it. I love seeing those courageous people and knowing that there is hope even in the darkest times, and that maybe something we should all be carrying with us into the real world, because the real world sucks too. Then the plan that they've got seems ludicrous. I mean, you know, 7 of them up against a whole garrison, but I love the fact that they're like, yeah, that's part of why the plan is going to work in their mind. It's because the Empire would never expect anybody to do this thing, and the Empire would never. It's a suicide mission, so of course, as much as they've got to guard it, they're not ever going to expect you to do it, and they're both taking advantage of that and the phenomenon of the sky and the eye and the scales or whatever. I am very intrigued about this mission, but I'm scared. You know, I quite like all these people we've met. Some of them are a bit abrasive, but I don't blame them. They're all extraordinarily brave, risking their lives to try and stop the Empire. I do not think they're all going to make it out alive, and that is stressful because they seem like some really wonderful people. And I do wonder whether this mission is going to be the turning point for Cassian that's going to make him stop and think, I want to be part of the rebellion, or if it's just going to be a contributing factor. But it is sad whenever they talk about, you know, him saying, I just don't want to throw my life away for this, and like, you know, maybe like one day you are going to get killed going up against the Empire one way or another, why don't you make it mean something? And we know that he is going to get killed going up against the Empire, but it's going to be in such a huge and important way that makes the biggest difference of all, and it's very, very emotional. This episode was definitely setting the scenes for where it's going next, as in like the mission he's on, and who knows where it's going after that. I'm intrigued by the inclusion of the Imperial Security Bureau or whatever. I find that fascinating. As much as, you know, you'll sit there being like, do you believe the shit that you're peddling, or do you just think, oh, I'll get a good career out of it, I don't really care? But I love seeing the inner workings, seeing the way these systems work and how cold and clinical it all is. It's just fascinating. Then the other thing that intrigued me is that we continued to see Francis Poldark. I think his name is Cyril. His name is Francis Poldark. And we saw him, you know, like, he's lost his job doesn't exist anymore, his actions in trying to do the right thing and trying to prove himself destroyed his entire the corporation, security, etc. Like, it's all gone, and it's technically all his fault. But I don't think he's gonna think, well, I was really shit. I don't think he's gonna think, oh, you know, isn't the Empire terrible that they would do this to us? We were just trying our best. I think he's going to think, I've got to prove myself and I want to try and find that Cassian dude and make him pay. Again, I don't know that for sure. Maybe he will join the rebellion, the next guy along. But I think it's actually really intriguing that we followed him home to his mother, because he's very much a character that you could have, he's served his purpose for, like, he's done this bit, like the Ferret plotline is done and we're moving on. The fact that we're still with him is very interesting, and I don't know where it's going to go next. And in his mother's greeting, both hitting him and then being like thrilled to see him. Now, did she hit him because, like, did he leave on bad terms, like, I'm going to go make my name and be a big tough soldier dude, or is it because he failed? It's all very intriguing, so I assume we'll see more of him. And I don't know where his story's going to go, but I don't think I'm going to like it. I also don't think I'm going to like where Cassian's story is going to go, because I'm pretty sure some of these lovely people we've just met are not going to make it. This was another very, very good episode. I could just sit here and absorb every minute detail of everyday life, both in the Empire and in the Rebellion and everything. I love it so much. I worry with shows like this that my reaction's not very interesting in episodes like this, because it's kind of just me being like, oh, that's interesting. Just absorbing everything, but note, it's all absorbed. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this absorbing reaction on my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching.